Hello there, this is Dave Shirley, and I just want to take a few minutes. I was reading emails, just got home, and excuse me, and a couple of emails caught my eye. This one in particular, a gentleman had joined a business, okay, and as soon as he had got in this marketing business, well, there's a few things he was required to buy, and he thought when he signed up that it's just a full deal and he'd be done. He didn't know he needed anything else. And he's a little bit upset about it. Can't really understand why, and a little bit concerned that why he can't just get started with nothing. And so I wanted to explain this to you in maybe a little different form, and maybe you can relate to it a little bit better and understand where I'm coming from. Okay, and now he's not joining my business, so it his own sponsorship will have to help him sort that all out. But here's what I would tell somebody. You've been out on the town, okay, and you come across this young girl and you've met her, a few times, and you think, man, Friday night's the night. I'm going to ask her out on a date. So you go up to her and you say, hey, Mary, what are you doing Friday night? She says, well, nothing, Dave. I'm not doing anything. Well, why don't we go out on a date? Just like that. She's going to say yes or no. So she says, Dave, that sounds good. Friday night's good for me. Say, okay, I'll pick you up at 7 o'clock. Okay, so you go pick her up at her house at 7 o'clock. Still lives with her parents. She don't have a house. And she says, Dave, where we going? You think, what? Where we going? Man, I didn't even think about that. I got to feed her. Then second thing, I've got to take her somewhere. So that's dinner and a movie. I hadn't really thought about it that far ahead, and so that's two expenses that you didn't know. I mean, you got to have a car, you got to have gas, you got to go pick her up, and now you got to take her to dinner and a movie. Well, so you progress. One date leads to the next. You dated for 5, 6 months, a year. You think, man, I like Mary, and uh, maybe I'll just ask her to marry me. So Friday night, it's always on a Friday night. You say, Mary, uh, I love you, Mary, and I want to marry you. Would you be my wife? She says, well, yeah, I love you too. I'd be honored to be your wife. She's crying and everything. You'd expect that. Okay, it's an emotional time. And you sit back then, you think, wow, I'm getting married. In 2 months, we're getting married. Okay, well, then you're on your way home, you think, man, she's somebody's told you, and you remember she needs an engagement ring. Okay, well, that's several $1,000s easily. Needs a wedding band. That's 5, 6, 700 on top of that. So $3,500 just to get started. And that's an expense. And she can't get married in sweatpants. Well, I guess she could, but who would want that? So she's going to need a wedding dress. Well, that's 3, 4, $5,000. You got to rent a church or a place to have it, a pastor or a minister of some kind to marry you. There's expense there. Uh, and then she says, but I want a honeymoon. I want to go somewhere special. This is our wedding, our only wedding. I want to go to Hawaii on my honeymoon. You think, oh, Hawaii. I wasn't even thinking about honeymoon. I thought we'd just get married, go down to the Motel 8, they leave the light on for you. And we just call it good. She says, no, 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 no. We need a real honeymoon, a Hawaii honeymoon. You're thinking, man, that's gonna be 7, 8, 9, $10,000. You go out there, she's gonna want to do stuff. I didn't count on that expense. Well, then the big one. She says, well, where are we gonna live? We can't live with my parents. Now she wants a house, a real 3, 4 bedroom, double car garage, jacuzzi tub, you know, master bedroom suite house. That's like $250,000. You didn't think about that. You thought, man, I'm just going to ask her on a date. And here within a year, you spent close to $300,000. I hope you see where I'm going with this. Yeah, you can sign up for a business, walk in the door. Chances are you're not going to have everything you need. There's going to be autoresponders. There's going to be websites, web hosting, okay, all sorts of training programs that you're going to need to prepare you for that business. Are they going to tell you that up front? Well, they may, okay, but it's just part of the business. Okay, you have to get in there, buy one thing at a time, buy the minimum that you need to, okay, and start building on that. But I think it's important that we don't get all upset saying, oh, somebody didn't tell me this or they didn't tell me that. Okay, well, they're used to it. They've got all this stuff already. You know, they're in the business. And when you walk in the door, when you ask them out on a date, there's expenses involved. When you get married, there's expenses involved. When you start a business, there's expenses. Okay, it's just to be expected. Okay, no need to get mad, get upset about it. It's just all part of the business. But I want you to know those expenses are all tax deductible. Okay, you buy a new computer, tax deductible. You buy a new program, it's tax deductible. Okay, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, that when you have to buy some of this stuff, some of this training material, some expenses for your business, it's actually a good thing. You'll learn a lot, you'll be a lot better for it, and in the end, you'll go back to your sponsor and say, thank you. I appreciate what you've done for me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and there'll be more to come soon. Good night.